give another hand clap for this. Well, you all have had a Sunday in 2019 together, but this is my first time being with you all in 2019, so it's my first Sunday of this new year. Really grateful to be here. It's everything I remembered it from last year.
And more.
And more. And more. That's the ticket, the and more part. We are so blessed to have one another. So very, 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 very blessed. I know for me, I've been really thinking lately that I really need you to survive, like every one of you. I've claimed you as my family. I need to have you to love. I need to have you to love me. I need to have you that I could uplift, and I need to have you so you could uplift me when I need uplifting. You mean so much to me. I've been really counting on God to always place me in the right place with the right people at the right time, doing the right thing. And of course, the right thing is loving one another and honoring one another and uplifting one another. My voice is a little bit gone, not because I've been partying or screaming through the new year. I've been demoing my bedroom and my little wing of the house, and so I've been breathing in a lot of drywall dust and you know, fumes from shellac and paint and stuff. So my voice is a little whatever it is, but I got to tell you that inside, although my voice is cracking, my heart is so open. I just have been thanking God for every challenge, every trial, every opportunity to find out that a trial can lead me to a triumph, and that a test can give me a testimony of how I got over.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that I used to only thank God for the smooth parts of the road. I only really used to thank God for when things went my way, when my children and grandchildren were healthy and doing well at school, when my relationships with other people were not being challenged. They were all smooth, and everybody I talked to and said, "How are you?" went, "I'm great." And then I wouldn't thank God when that wasn't the case. I used to say, "What's going on?" Like, dude, where are you in the midst of this? Like, have you forsaken me? Like, have you forsaken us? I kind of reminded myself of David, King David of the scriptures. We like to remember the 91st Psalm where he's rejoicing and praising. He's saying, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." But if you read the 90th Psalm, these are his songs he sang. And so the 91st song he sang was, "You anointeth my head with oil, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me." But the 90th song, the song he sang right before that song, was a song of desperation. It was, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far away from me? Where are you in my life?" And David was called by God as one of God's favorites. Like, "David, you're the apple of my eye. I dig you so much, dude. Because when you're lost, you admit it. And when you're found, you admit it. But even when you're lost, who do you go to? You come to me. I am your answer. You trust in me." And so I'm learning to be a little bit more like David. I'm learning to go to God like through thickness and through thin, through sickness and through health, and through the valley times and the shadow times, as well as the mountaintop times. I have on my vision right now my sister Deb, who I was able to see last week at Unity of New York, and she came through the hug line, and she discovered there that you don't get really a lot of time with Carlos in the hug line. People are waiting, and I have a monitor person there saying, "Move along." But I really was grateful. Deb recently lost her mother. Well, I won't say lost her mother. Her mother recently made transition. So it's a very different experience when your mom's there to hug and talk and touch, and many of us know this. And so I've had people when I lost my mom, and my friends and people would come and go, you know she's still with you. And I'd go, I know she's still with me, and I'm still hurting, because she's not with me in her body. I think I called her phone number for about 3 months after she passed, and each time I realized after dialing her, she's not going to answer. If you want to talk to her, you have to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and go inside. Go into your heart, because that's where she is. In truth, that's where she always was. And that's where love is, and that's where healing is. And so, as we have our service today, I would like us, as we did for Sister Karen when your mother made transition, I would like us to hold Sister Deb in our heart. To know that she and her siblings right now, they are making transition. It's a transition out of being able to call mom's number and have her pick up or go get a hug from her. Life is very short. Life goes by so quickly. And it's a call for us to be on purpose, to take care of the business that we're here to take care of. One of the biggest pieces of that forgiveness, of course, of that job we have to do is to continually forgive life for being what it is. Forgive God for allowing life to be what it is. To give ourselves for our role in this thing called life and our apparent mistakes or bad steps or whatever. And to forgive others as we would choose to be forgiven. Another important thing for us to do is to speak our truth. To be honest and authentic, not to withhold. We all, if we are quiet enough, we all know what our assignment is. I've said before, some people's assignment is to stand up. Other people's is to sit down. Some people's assignment is to speak up. Other people's assignment is to shut up. Only you know what your assignment is, and only I know what my assignment is. And so let me attend to my assignment, and let me trust you to be attending to yours. Our church here, this amazing spiritual community we have, it enables us to stay on track, or to return to the track if we get off track. It allows us to have an opportunity to be the best that we can be. Timothy worked for me for 20 years going to churches, and now he works in a hotel. And he supervises the maintenance crew of the hotel. And he laments the fact that he no longer goes to work with Reverend Carlos, where he's going to be with people who are putting their best foot forward. He goes to work where people are content to backstab one another and to gossip about one another and to step on one another in an attempt to get up the ladder. So Timothy is making transition as well, transitioning out of you all's company, which he loves so much. Early this morning, first thing he said to me was, "You lucky dog, you. You get to go to Unity in the city while I go to the hotel." I went, "Thanks for reminding me. I am one lucky dog. This is where God has placed me. This is the work that I'm called upon to do." We're going to deepen our 5 unity principles. As we all know, or most of us do know, Unity is a worldwide organization. There are unity centers and churches all over the world, and they are all based on these 5 principles. So although not all churches read and deepen the 5 principles each Sunday, many of them do, and I'm glad that we're among them. This is my first time with you in 2019. If you would like to bless me with being one of the 5 people who's willing to deepen our principles, hop to your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We've got it going on. and basically in order of our standing. And always I want us to tell us our names.
I'm Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
God is absolute good, everywhere present.
Again, Lori.
God is absolute good, everywhere present.
Let's know this together.
God is absolute good, everywhere present.
Thank you. Were you number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us your name.
My name's Jade.
Jade.
Hi,
Hi,
Jade.
Jade.
Hi, Jade.
Excellent name, Jade.
My essence is spark of
Divinity.
divinity is of God, and therefore I am inherently good.
Okay, you know what inherently means? Inherently means that's the truth of you. You might not look like it, but it's who you really are. It's the true self of each of us. And divinity is the God part of you, not the physical part. So what you just said, I'd like you to please read it again.
My essence, a spark of divinity, is of God, and therefore I am inherently good.
Thank you, Jade.
Yeah.
You sure are.
My essence, a spark of divinity, is of God, and therefore I am inherently good.
And what's the best way for you to remember that you are inherently good?
By seeing that in everyone else.
Uh-huh.
By knowing everyone
That's
is
right.
inherently good.
Amen.
Yeah. Number 3.
Maya.
Maya.
Hi, Maya.
I create my experiences by the activity of my thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought.
Again,
I-
please.
I create my
I'm sorry.
experience.
Maya has one more syllable. Can we make room for my brother, Dr. Bob, to get on in this one?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bob. Plenty of seats down here. Welcome.
Your solo.
How about we create our experiences by the activity of our thinking.
Yes.
Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought.
And now for the choir.
Thank you.
We create our experiences by the activity of our thinking. Everything in the manifest realm has its beginning in thought.
Thank
Yes.
you.
My name is Esther.
Hi,
Hi, Esther.
So prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection with God-mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good.
Another solo.
Prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection with God-mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good.
Everybody together?
Prayer is creative thinking that heightens the connection with God-mind and therefore brings forth wisdom, health, prosperity, and everything good.
Okay, and I am Shira.
Hi,
Shira.
Knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, are just the beginning. I must also live the truth I know.
Again, please.
Knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, are just the beginning. I must live the truth I know.
Together.
Knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, are just the beginning. I must also live the truth I know.
Okay, before I ask if there's anyone here for the first time, can we just close our eyes for a moment? I'm going to ask that you would take a deep cleansing breath. Breathe deeply and slowly in through your nostrils. Fill your lungs with the breath of life. Hold for a moment, and then release with an audible sigh. We're going to do this 3 times. Gather. And to fulfill the law of 3 once more, please. And just breathe gently and deeply in a way that works for you right now. The theme song that we begin all of our services with, regardless of any other songs we do, our theme song, our preparation for service says, I release and I let go. I don't know what it is that you are being instructed to release and let go of, but if you can identify it as you breathe, just please do release that and let go. Particularly anything that's fear-based. You want to let that go to make room for the return of your power and your courage and your God connection.
Amen.
I always say that in order to have a happy new year, you have to let the old year go. And in order to have a happy new you, you have to let the old you go. It's a process of crucifixion that allows you to give rise to the resurrection into a new self, a freer self, a calmer self, a more loving self. I release and I let go. Please now repeat after me. I release and I let go.
I release and I let go.
I let the Spirit run my life.
I let the Spirit run my life.
I release and I let go.
I release and I let go.
I let the Spirit run my life.
I let the Spirit run my life.
Once more, I release and I let go.
I release and I let go.
I let the Spirit run my life.
I let the Spirit run my life.
And my heart is open wide.
And my heart is open wide.
My heart is open wide.
My heart is open wide.
Yes, my heart is open wide.
Yes, my heart is open wide.
Because I'm only here for God.
Because I am only here for God. Amen.
And so it is.
So it is.
So do we have anyone who's here with